Thanks for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus for Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King, joined by meteorologist Nathan Scott, and things are a little sunny and a little chilly today.
Lots of sunshine out there, but definitely much colder than what we saw yesterday when temperatures climbed up into the 60s. Right now, we're seeing temperatures into the 40s.
Yeah.
Blue sky looks beautiful, but if you're going to be out and about, you'll need to grab that jacket. It's sweater weather for the most part. Here are temperatures across the region right now. 41 in Little Rock, 39 though in Searcy, 46 in Arkadelphia. It's 50 in Texarkana. And there's just been a few clouds drifting their way across parts of the state. The wind's not too bad compared to what we saw yesterday. They've calmed down quite a bit, but there's still a little bit of a wind chill out there. It feels like 36 in Searcy. It feels like 35 in Batesville. It feels like 31 in Mountain Home. Your hour by hour features lots of sunshine. Highs today primarily climbing up into the mid to upper 40s, and then we'll back down into the 30s. But tonight, not as cold as what we saw this morning. That's because we'll have a little bit of a south-southwest wind out there holding the numbers up primarily into the low 30s. There's going to be some upper 20s for the coldest valleys in the Ozarks and also the Ouachitas. Highs tomorrow, mid 50s. We'll see more clouds out there, small chance of a shower. This is because another front's going to make its way through, and that's going to set up for a chilly weekend. More on that full weekend forecast coming up.
A Camden man is in police custody on charges of terroristic threats for comments on an upcoming MLK parade. Investigators say Raymond Reagan made these statements on social media yesterday. This prompted a circuit court to issue the arrest warrant. Stay with THV 11 News as we learn more. A Bryant police sergeant has been arrested and charged with DWI. Brett Carpenter has also been released from his position. Carpenter was arrested while off duty. He was with the department for more than 2 years. And a woman in jail in Benton County is facing a sexual assault charge after allegedly groping a male deputy last week while being escorted to a housing unit on January 9th. Court documents say 35-year-old Lydia Janae Rogers later admitted to the contact during an interview. She also complained of not getting medication for bipolar disorder since her arrest last year for drug possession. In addition to her new assault charges, she's in danger of having her parole revoked for a burglary conviction in 2023. Happening today, Andrew McGann, the man accused of stabbing 2 hikers last summer at Devil's Den State Park, will be back in court. Washington County prosecutors are seeking the death penalty, but at a hearing in November, McGann's lawyers filed a motion asking the judge to remove that from the table. And President Donald Trump is threatening to implement the Insurrection Act, deploying troops to Minnesota to help end protest. This comes after an ICE officer shot a Venezuelan in the leg last night. The incident happened in North Minneapolis. Officials say Venezuela is suspected of hitting the officer with a shovel and broom handle. A judge declined to issue a temporary restraining order against ICE operations.
We will not have to live like this forever. Accountability is coming at the voting booth and in court. We will reclaim our communities from Donald Trump. We will reestablish a sense of safety for our neighbors, and we will bring an end to this moment of chaos, confusion, and trauma. We will find a way to move forward, and we'll do it together, and we'll not be alone.
The Department of Homeland Security says there are nearly 3,000 ICE agents and Border Patrol officers in the area. The U.S. seized another oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea Thursday. It marks the 6th such seizure since December. This one is named Veronica. The military has been taking a hard stance on controlling the flow of oil to and from Venezuela.
On this vote, the yeas are 50.
And Senate Republicans on Wednesday blocked an effort to curb the Trump administration's military actions in Venezuela. Vice President J.D. Vance had to make the trip to Capitol Hill to cast the tie-breaking vote. The measure would have forced the Trump administration to seek congressional approval for further military force in the country. 5 Republicans originally voted with the Democrats last week to bring the measure to the floor. However, 2 senators later withdrew their support following pressure from the administration. Federal prosecutors have charged at least 20 people in a basketball game rigging scheme. According to court documents, it all started in 2022 in the Chinese Basketball Association. The indictment claims the fixers also enlisted college basketball players to fix NCAA games. The players were recruited to make sure there were certain outcomes in these games. The fixers placed millions of dollars in wagers, and the participating players were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. The defendants are charged with bribery in sporting contest and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is extending the Arkansas National Guard deployment for 3 months. The initial deployment announcement was made in November 2025. This was to add additional support to the D.C. National Guard. In December, she addressed state guardsmen deployed to Washington during a send-off ceremony in Fort Chaffee. This will impact soldiers in the 142nd Field Artillery Brigade. They have been there since after Thanksgiving holiday. Now a closer look at what's next for the River Market. We reported yesterday morning that Little Rock's board of directors approved a $25 million deal to reimagine the space. Now THV 11's Catherine Rowley shows us how officials hope that vote translates into real change and what it could mean for the heart of the city.
This is a dream that's come reality.
This is a huge step, and when we look back in 5 years, like it's starting now. It is really starting now.
It's a huge step to revitalization for the downtown of the capital city. The city entering a memorandum of understanding with St. Louis-based New and Found.
We have, in Little Rock, I think we have actually a pretty great downtown for the size of city we are, but we don't have enough people living here. And so it's important that we bring these things in that are going to attract more people and make people want to live and come and visit downtown.
Downtown revitalizations across the country, including Canada, have become economic engines. City leaders hope River Market Hall can do the same.
We've seen flagship parks all across the country really become economic development tools. And so that's important, as well as, the River Market back when it was created really helped spur the first wave of kind of revitalization downtown.
Right now, the River Market Food Hall is open daily from 11 to 2. Upgrades would extend those hours and new food and drink options.
Imagine if we have a state-of-the-art food hall that is bustling with activity all day and has a bar for people to go in the evening when they want to go out and enjoy some, a river view and have a drink. So it is going to, do a lot for that area as well as downtown as a whole.
Mayor Frank Scott Jr. says the city and the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau are working to coordinate the comeback.
It's going to completely revitalize downtown, and it won't be what we grew up knowing. And so it's truly a game changer, and we're excited about it.
The larger vision, make Little Rock a destination for the beyond.
One of the things that we always want to make certain of, that Little Rock becomes a catalyst for the New South. And so to do that, you have to have quality and life in place. You have to have entertainment and a food scene, arts and culture and economic development. And all of those pieces are coming together. And so it's truly exciting to see this renovation, reimagination of downtown underway.
Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Spotify is one of the most popular sources of music. What changes you need to know about if you plan to continue to be a subscriber? That's still ahead on THV 11.
And if you thought it was cold out there this morning, look what happens Sunday morning. This is what's going to feel like out there. Your wind chill forecast places most sections into the teens, feeling like the single digits in North Arkansas. I'll let you know what the daytime highs will be for the weekend coming up.
Welcome back. If you have Spotify, there are some changes coming that you should know about. Spotify is raising its prices for their ad-free premium membership in the U.S. again next month by $1. It's the third price hike in 4 years for Spotify in the U.S. The increase in the U.S. has been expected after Spotify raised prices in the U.K. and Switzerland last fall. Under the new U.S. pricing, Spotify individual premium plans will increase from $11.99 to $12.99 per month. The two-person plan is increasing from $16.99 to $18.99 per month, and family increasing from $19.99 to $21.99. Student plans are also increasing from $5.99 to $6.99 per month. Measles cases in South Carolina are skyrocketing, doubling in size over the past week. Tuesday, state health department officials report more than 430 cases. More than half of those cases were reported in the past week. More than 400 other people are in quarantine after being exposed to a known measles case without the protection of vaccination. Even more cases are expected to come from that group. Health officials say the surge is due to holiday activities and lagging vaccination rates. The outbreak has been growing since October, mostly clustered around Spartanburg County.
What people don't realize is that initial infection with measles may not be that severe, but it wipes out the kid's immune system, immune memory, and it can take a couple years to build back.
Gotcha.
So it leaves the infant or the child susceptible to infections like pneumonia, diarrheal illness, and so on. And that's actually half of the deaths related to measles.
The CDC recommends children receive the first dose of the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine between the ages of 12 to 15 months, and the second dose between 4 and 6 years of age. 2 doses provides 97% effectiveness against the highly infectious disease. Last week, the House voted to extend health care subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, a bipartisan act including at least 17 Republicans to join Democrats to help fellow Americans. This will now go to the Senate. However, one Atlanta area couple is sharing their experience as they see their rate increase. Madeline Montgomery has more.
This is how Barbara Brockway and Matt Padula pictured retirement, relaxing and enjoying each other's company after decades of marriage.
32 years, right? Coming up on 33.
Brockway worked in accounting and Padula worked in consulting before retiring as an economics teacher. The couple knows numbers and felt confident in their calculations for retirement.
Matt has worked part-time for the last couple of years, so we've had to go on to the exchange and get our health care. And it was pricey, but we were able to afford it.
But the Affordable Care Act's enhanced subsidies have lapsed, increasing premium payments significantly.
Rug yanked out from under our feet here over the last couple months.
In 2025, we were paying about $1,600 a month, and now we're paying over $3,200 a month, which translates to nearly $39,000 for the year, just for our insurance.
Those costs cutting into Brockway and Padula's lifestyle.
We have to cut back on just everyday expenses. I mean, discretionary things like eating out, vacations.
I'm wondering if I should not have stopped working last year, if I should have kept working.
Accounting professor Usha Ratcliffe says anyone thinking about retirement should consider where the drop-off is for subsidies.
The goal is to keep your income under the $84,600. If you're a married couple, you have to be very smart, very strategic about where your money is coming from. Is it taxable? Is it not taxable? And what can you do? Can you maneuver for a year or two to kind of shift it so that it's not taxable to you in that year? Then you come in under the threshold, and then you don't have to pay all of that because you get a subsidy.
Brockway and Padula are 62, so they have to wait a few years until they qualify for Medicare. So for now, they can maneuver their money or pay double to stay insured.
We're certainly in a position where we couldn't even dream of going out there without having insurance at our age at this point.
Good afternoon, Central Arkansas. Meteorologist Nathan Scott. Lots of sunshine out there today, but the big concern continues to be burn bans, as we have burn bans issued for a large part of North Central Arkansas, but also Southwest Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas. And even if your county is not under a burn ban, the best idea is just hold off until we get a good soaking rain. That may happen later next week or the following week, but near future, we're dry. Latest drought monitor. This was the past update, and look at the change. to the newest update. We've got now extreme drought developing across northeast Arkansas, right there through Batesville, Independence County, Izard County, and also severe drought building its way into central Arkansas. We need some rain, and looking down the road, this is the next 7-day outlook. Wednesday, Thursday of next week. I'm looking at some more new information, and it does show the potential we could see some rain out there for later next week. And it looks like the heaviest will be situated along the southeastern parts of Arkansas. Now that will change, and we'll certainly keep you updated on those changes. But your fire danger risk, that's not going to be changing. It stays medium pretty much over the next 6 days until the next round of moisture moves in here later next week. Temperatures, we've warmed up into the low 40s finally here in central Arkansas, still 34 in Branson, but notice the warmer air stretching from Texas into Kansas. We're going to get a little taste of that warm air before the next front arrives here later on Friday. But you see the Arctic air certainly taking hold across the Great Lakes and also over to the northeast. Here's the next front, lined up through Montana and South Dakota, and that's going to be making a beeline towards Arkansas. Primarily a dry front, but it's going to knock the numbers down significantly going into the weekend. So we're up on Friday into the low to mid 50s, partly sunny. Small chance there could be a passing shower, and then the numbers tumble down into the upper 30s and low 40s Saturday and Sunday. And look at your lows Sunday morning, 20 degrees. That's here in the metro. That means most locations will wake up with numbers into the teens. As for the chance, it's a small chance there could be an isolated shower out there on Friday as the next cold front makes its way in. You notice best chance of rain, primarily very light activity, Mississippi, but also in the parts of East Arkansas. And then going to the weekend, just with northwest flow, I can't rule out there could be someone across Arkansas that may report, hey, I saw a snowflake pass by, but really no big deal. There's your low forecast on Sunday morning, though. Temperatures dropping down into the teens for most locations, maybe single digits for those coldest valleys of the Ozarks and also the Ouachitas. 34 tonight, not as cold, but still chilly. 55 tomorrow, breezy, a little bit warmer, partly sunny with that small chance there could be an isolated shower. And your 7-day forecast, the numbers primarily staying into the 40s, but it's going to be chilly going into the weekend. Then the numbers try to rebound Wednesday, Thursday. I think we'll have to bump up that rain chance on Thursday and maybe have to add a rain chance into Wednesday's forecast.
Check this out. A middle school teacher in Arkansas is using artificial intelligence to create educational songs. Frank Willicke explains how he has implemented AI into the curriculum.
We've been trying to find ways to use AI in different aspects as in our teaching.
8th grade social studies teacher John Perry Mize has used music before to help his students learn, but he noticed there is not much out there when it comes to Arkansas history. So he started using AI music generator to create songs about the topics covered in class. He writes all the lyrics, the verses, and choruses, and makes sure the music style fits what he wants to teach. Then AI handles all the musical arrangements.
I try to make my prompts really precise. I'll add in files as well of like documents, so I know it's pulling from accurate information. I always proofread everything.
He said it's a great way to keep students engaged and it helps them retain the information.
We would start hearing them so often that we learned them. And we were singing them along in class and singing them out in the hallways and everything. And so during tests, whenever we see a question, we'll start singing it in our heads, be like, oh yeah, he said this.
This approach has even inspired students like Ella Drumheller start writing their own songs and poems to help their classmates.
I've always loved writing. For me to be able to write something and him tell me, this is really good, Ella, and other kids also enjoy it, it made my confidence go up, and it also made me actually think, hey, even though I'm still a student, I can help others as well.
Mize stresses that this AI tool is not about replacing traditional teaching or his job. Instead, it's a creative way to supplement what he does and enhance learning.
Razorback basketball back in the win column in a big way. The big-time highlights from a win over South Carolina. Next in sports.
Well, we've been in the 50s, the 60s, the 40s all this week. It's just
we had the 70s earlier in the month.
Yeah.
But going into the middle to latter part of January, it looks like things are going to change. It looks like we're going to have a better chance of below average temperatures. Nothing record breaking this week, primarily dry, but those mornings are going to be cold.
Oh, it's already cold enough.
Especially Sunday morning.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for watching Arkansas News Now.